Elena sent the police to drag us out of bed at night. They accused us of trying to harm her and her family because we supposedly want to take over Pastor Monet's ministry.
Yes, she even got the sons of Belial to testify falsely against us. They lied about us and some of us were stoned by an angry mob.
It is only by God's grace that we managed to escape. Now, we are on the run and her policemen are after us.
We need to get out of this country as soon as possible. I asked my parents to send us some money. We will cross the border just after midnight and hopefully, we won't get caught.
Don't panic, David. Elena is only influential here in Noah City. We need to get as far away from here as possible. We can then cross the border close to one of those remote villages.
Yes, I have never come across someone as evil and cunning as Elena. That lady, Anais, was right about Elena all along.
Yes, I told you so. We knew that Elena was a bad person, but we didn't think she'd go to the extent of trying to get all of Pastor Monet's mentees, the board members who oppose her, and anointed pastors eliminated.
I hope to wake up and discover that this was a nightmare.
Don't be afraid. It is written that we ought to rejoice at all times. Let's cast our burdens upon the Lord and trust Him to see us through this storm.
We are now fugitives.
Let's head south. From there, we can board a bus that will drop us at a village that is close to the border.
Yes, we need to buy balaclavas or wear sunglasses and hats so that no one can easily identify us.
Yes, let's go.
The Lord is with us. We will fear no evil.
Amen.
Nadege, please sign these papers. Everyone else has signed them but you.
What are these documents for? I cannot put my signature on something that I haven't read.
Why do you feel the need to challenge me all the time? If you must know, my lawyers said that I will only be able to take over the ministry once I am made the sole heir of your father's estate. Hence, I need all of you to relinquish your rights to your father's estate. If not, then those 7 anointed pastors will hijack this ministry.
But Mother, what you're saying doesn't make sense. We can still fight them without making you the sole heiress to Dad's estate.
Don't argue with me, just sign these documents. I have more rights to your father's estate than you do. I am your mother and you must obey me. I will not share my late husband's estate with anyone. Since we destroyed his will, I am doing everything legally possible to take over everything that belonged to Pastor Monet, my lawfully wedded husband.
Mother, calm down.
If you don't agree, then you'll see my other side.
Fine, fine. Just show me where I should sign.
By the way, I am expecting a new bodyguard today. Apparently, Cynic, one of our family's 2 live-in bodyguards, has been replaced due to some family and health issues. You need to stay at home and welcome him.
I was planning to go out.
No, you must wait for Ethan, show him around the house, show him his outside room, and introduce him to all of our household staff. I forwarded an email to you that contains Ethan's details, work history and so forth. He has quite an impressive CV.
All right, Mother. Hello, my name is Nadege. You must be Ethan, the new member of our security team.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Nadege. My full name is Ethan Lake Torre.
Torre, the owner of the largest security firm in Pontac Malo is Mr. Torre, a billionaire.
I see that you have heard of my dad.
He is your dad, so what are you doing working as a bodyguard in your father's VIP security company?
I will soon be taking over the firm, hence, my dad thought it would be best if I had an idea of what it takes to safeguard the lives of our VIP clients. As stated in the email, I will be here on a 3-month mission. I will hopefully gain insights that will help us to improve our service. I believe you read my resume.
Yes. I quickly glanced through it. I am impressed. You studied at top schools, and you underwent military training overseas before returning home to Pontac Malo. You also have a master's degree in law, and have a black belt in karate.
Yes, Ethan Lake Torre at your service, ma'am.
No. Please call me Nadege. I want this guy and Nadege gets whatever she wants. Besides being handsome, young, well-built, and well-educated, he is also the heir to a billion-dollar security company.
Please show me my room so that I can drop off my bags and start working.
Yes, sure. Please join me for lunch later. My treat.
No, Nadege. I can't be treated differently from the other staff.
No. I insist. I would like to get to know you better. After all, I am putting my security and the security of my family in your hands.
All right, I will see you later then. Now, it's time for me to invoke some spirits so that they cause nightmares, fear and depression in Pastor Monet's family. After this, the members of that family will fight amongst themselves and hate each other.
Paula, since Dad died, I haven't been able to get a good night's sleep. I get scary nightmares and I keep hearing someone asking me to go to the bridge. The urge is very strong, but I keep resisting it because I fear that the bridge might have ghosts since many people died there. Claire, you too. I actually see dead people moving around this house at night and sometimes during broad daylight. I am also being drawn to the bridge. I don't know what is going on. I spoke to Aaron about it and he says it's all in my imagination. Nothing has gone right since Dad passed away.
Salome, so you want to travel outside the country to attend an interview in your condition?
Aaron, I am pregnant, not sick.
I forbid you to leave the country until the baby is born.
No, Aaron, I must attend the conference and go for the interview overseas. Maybe we can stop being dependent on my family once we move overseas. The pay is good and there are a lot of opportunities for us there.
What's really going on, Salome?
Mom has given me an ultimatum. I am to leave you and marry a wealthy man or risk abject poverty because she says that she won't be supporting us any longer. Since things have been tough for us here, I have decided to ask the Lord to make a way for us to relocate overseas.
So your mother is behind all of this?
She's right. Please don't hold anything against her.
A few months later.
Governor, thank you so much for agreeing to visit me in my humble home.
It's my pleasure, Mrs. Monet. I have been friends of your ministry for many years. My wife and I are permanent members of your church. Thank you for opening the doors to your church and home.
The Lord has been good to us. We are also planning to open more church branches across Pontac Marlow.
Aye, that's good news. Please let me know how I can be of help.
Thank you, you are very kind. Oh my goodness, this can't be happening.
What happened, Mrs. Monet? Why do you look so scared?
I just got a text message from an overseas number. I also have several missed calls. Apparently, my eldest daughter Salome passed away after 2 trucks had a head-on collision. Salome was crossing the road when one of the trucks slid on a slippery and wet road.
I am very sorry to hear that, Mrs. Bassett.
Oh my Salome, my Salome. Why?
Aaron, please accept my sincere condolences. I am very sorry about what happened to your wife Salome. Please accept my condolences.
I blame Elena for all of this. She is the one who forced Salome to leave the country in her condition.
Perhaps, you need to talk to Elena about it. Also, I suggest you leave this place for a few weeks. You need a change of environment. I could sponsor your trip if you like.
I think you are right. Thank you, Ethan. I will talk to Elena before I leave.
You're welcome, friend. Time has a way of healing all wounds.
I came to drop off the keys to the house. Since Salome has passed away, I don't see any reason why I should stay in this city.
You have made the right decision.
Elena, I blame you for everything that happened to my family. I lost my wife and my unborn baby because of you.
Stop with that nonsense. If you were man enough to stand on your own 2 feet, then none of this could have happened. A man is supposed to provide for his family instead of being supported by his wife and her family.
I will avenge the deaths of my wife and unborn baby. Mark my words.
Get out of my house now. Security, throw this man out.
A few hours later.
As I was saying, Paula, you and your sister, Claire, need to confront your fears. It seems that the 2 of you are afraid of this bridge. I suggest the 2 of you walk across the bridge several times until the fear disappears.
Yes. Aaron, I think you are right.
Where is Claire?
She'll be here soon.
I better be going. I don't want to miss my flight.
I am sorry to see you leave.
Don't worry about me. I will be fine, little sister. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye, Aaron.
Goodbye, friend.
A few hours later.
Paula, we almost died there, sis. If it wasn't for Ethan who chased after the sniper, our bodies would have joined all of the people who died in that river.
Yes, Claire, it feels like we're in some sort of movie. I can't believe that a sniper shot at us a number of times. I suspect Aaron. I think he tried to kill us. He was the last person who was here with us, plus, the man that Ethan saw, was wearing the same clothes that Aaron was wearing before he left.
Yes, we better report this matter to Mum and the Chief of Police. Aaron must pay for what he has done.
Yes. I suggested the same to Ethan, but he said it's best we reported the matter to the police and our mum tomorrow or after a few days. Maybe we're wrong. We may remember something else. What if Aaron or the sniper returns to finish us off? So Ethan suggested we lay low for a few days before we report anything to the police.
I think he is right. I won't even be able to face the police today. I am so shaken.
It's settled then. We will report the matter in a few days. We have been diagnosed with mental health issues, hence, we need to be really sure of what we heard and saw before making the report.
Surely, Ethan can accompany us to the police station and describe the man who ran away.
Yes, Ethan better come back and accompany us to the house. I am so scared, I can't even move.
Mrs. Elena Bassett Monet, I have taken your daughter's statements. Unfortunately, there is insufficient evidence. We cannot arrest Aaron based on assumptions, since no one actually saw him shoot the girls.
Did you interview Ethan, their bodyguard, as well?
No, apparently he left the house to attend to an emergency.
Let it be known that before Aaron left my house, he threatened to avenge his wife and child, hence, if anything bad happens to me and my family, our main suspect is Aaron.
We have taken note of that, madam. We tried to bring Aaron in for questioning, however, we couldn't because he has already left the country. Once we gather sufficient evidence, we will bring him in for questioning.
All right, please do a thorough investigation. I know the Chief of Police and I wouldn't want to give a bad report about you, Inspector.
Mrs. Monet, I hope you are not trying to threaten a police officer. I don't take kindly to threats. We are doing our job to the best of our abilities.
Is there anything else?
No, madam.
What is all of that noise coming from outside? It sounds like air raid sirens. What are helicopters doing on my property? Oh my goodness, I can see several men dressed in black and carrying rifles, climbing down on ropes from the helicopters while an army truck just entered the yard. I have nowhere to hide. I am finished. Who is behind this? What did I do to deserve this? Could this be the doing of one of the wives of the politicians? No, those men look like foreigners. I better lock myself in my room.
So, I have finally met Elena Bassett Monet in the flesh. You don't know how long we have been waiting for this day.
Who are you and what do you want? You have no right to barge into my house and drag me and my kids outside.
Where are my manners? Even though you are a Jezebel and a witch, I must respect the fact that you are a woman, and a late pastor's wife for that matter. My name is Commander Lionheart. My team and I are here to pay you and your family a visit.
What do you want? I will call the police, and the army can get here in a few hours.
Ha ha ha. You don't know who you are dealing with. We warned your country's chief of police and the army not to mess with us, otherwise we will blow up this little country of yours. If you must know, we are a secret and highly qualified team of mercenaries.
Soldiers of fortune. What do you want and who sent you? And why did you shoot my security personnel?
Your useless security personnel shot at us first. I don't have time for this nonsense. Listen here, we are here for a week or so. If you haven't figured it out already, let me spell it out to you. This place is under siege.
What do you mean by that?
We will not allow anyone to come in or out of this place. No food or water will be provided to you or your family until you tell us what we want to know. Mrs. Monet, you have made many enemies and I am sure you don't know which one of them is out to get you.
No, this can't be happening.
You will transfer all of the money from all of your 7 bank accounts into a bank account that we will give you. Also, we will collect all of the forex that you have been holding in this so-called church building of yours. We will take everything away from you and you will watch your family perish right in front of your very eyes.
No, you can't do that. How did you find out about the forex that I have stashed away on this property? Only Nadege knows about it.
You will sign documents that will transfer all of your ill-gotten wealth to the mafia, except for one property that you must give to Aaron.
So Aaron is behind all of this. How did he raise enough funds to pay you?
No, the chief of police asked us to choose a fall guy, so we chose Aaron. We set him up so that once we are done with you, the police and news will put the blame on Aaron. After all, you told the police that he tried to shoot your daughters and threatened to avenge the death of his family.
So you were the sniper?
No, Ethan Lake Torre was. He is one of us. In fact, he is more dangerous than the rest of us. With his charms, he got Nadege to tell all. He is also the one who shot at the girls. He missed them on purpose because we want to pin all of the atrocities we are about to commit here on Aaron.
No, please have mercy on me. I am an anointed woman. I will give you whatever you want.
Anointed my foot. Go back to the hall and join the others. From today onwards, you will all stay in one part of this estate of yours. Although, in a week's time everything will be burned to the ground. We need a confession from you regarding the bridge collapsing incident. We want to know the truth. Also, we want you to suffer and think about what you have done in this miserable life of yours during your last days on earth.
In this series, a prophecy was given to Pastor Monet. He was warned that if he went ahead with his plans to marry Elena, the two of them would end up like King Ahab and the original Jezebel. The angel said that the Lord does not show any favoritism, hence, if Pastor Monet and Elena didn't repent, if they allowed themselves to be controlled by the Jezebel and Ahab spirits, they'd end up like King Ahab and Jezebel. The following was proclaimed against the pastor and his family if he chose to disobey the Lord. 1 Kings 21:21-24 says, Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, The dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. No one knows exactly what happened during the siege. Those who witnessed it swore never to tell. However, it is believed that the prophecy became a reality. Elena confessed everything about the bridge accident and all of her major sins to the mercenaries. Those who know the full story said that things got really bad between Nadege and Elena during the siege, so bad that Nadege pushed her mother off the balcony while her two younger daughters got fierce dogs to attack her on the ground. Why? The children discovered who their mother really was, and they wanted her to die like the Jezebel she was. Sadly, they were fighting the wrong battle, because our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against evil principalities, that is, the devils that possess evil people. Hence, we need to fight all of our battles on our knees first, ask the Lord for the wisdom required to handle that specific situation, and then stand up for the truth no matter how uncomfortable it is and no matter who may get hurt. At the end of the day, we are only accountable to God. If Ephesians 6:12 KJV says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Later, as if in fulfillment of the prophecy that said, and I quote, I will take away thy posterity, it is believed that the remaining members of Pastor Monet's family succumbed to a strange illness, probably due to hunger and thirst during the siege, and died. Also, it is reported that a huge fire broke out on the church's premises on the day that the mercenaries left the property. Several people have been writing to us saying that our story is similar to something that happened in Ministry A, Ministry X and Ministry Z. This shows us that the Jezebel spirit exhibits, or has certain characteristics that are common amongst those possessed by it. At the beginning of this series, we mentioned that we wanted to see if Elena, the pastor's wife, had any, if not most, of the characteristics of the original Jezebel. If so, then it follows therefore, that there may be several other ministries with this spirit. If you see a pattern, then it's best you pray over it, and ask the Lord to reveal the truth about that ministry to you. Pray that you will not fall prey to these Jezebels. And always remember that we are not fighting against flesh and blood, but we are fighting against principalities and wickedness in high places. Ask the Lord for wisdom. What we will not do is mention the names of ministries, or pastors' wives, etc. This is not who we are or what we are about. By mentioning Pastor X, all this does is to remove people's focus from the Jezebel spirit and make them focus on the specific pastor or pastor's wife. Once the pastor's wife, who was possessed by the Jezebel spirit, dies, we will then put our guard down, yet the spirit would have simply moved and possessed someone else. Hence, it is best that we remain alert and refrain from trying to get CGN or anyone else to confirm whether or not we believe that a certain pastor's wife is a Jezebel. That is not our goal here. So if you identify a Jezebel or a church with a storyline similar to ours, run to God and ask Him to reveal the truth to you, and ask the Lord to direct your prayers in relation to that specific church or Jezebel. Please do not send us comments naming Pastor X or Church Y. If you see Jezebel characteristics in anyone, pray over the situation and ask the Lord to give you the wisdom to handle the situation. Most importantly, don't be deceived by evil and evildoers. We have never seen anything like this fire before. It's as if someone was trying to cleanse the land by getting rid of each and every trace of the people who used to live here.
My thirst for revenge has been quenched. Sadly, none of the things I did could bring back my 3 children. It is all vanity upon vanity. The pain in my heart hasn't gone away. I should have spent the last 5 years healing instead of moving from one shrine to another seeking revenge. I need to break free from this. I know that I find it hard to forgive, but surely, I can't continue to carry so much pain and hatred in my heart.
The mercenaries we hired did an excellent job. They left nothing to chance. Our daughter Ira's death has now been avenged, plus we have the Jezebel's confession.
Yes, we also looted that place.
Yes.
So tell me, dear, what are you planning to do with Elena's confession?
I will broadcast it on all TV and news channels across the world. I want the world to know who that woman really was, and I want all of the families who lost their loved ones on that bridge to find closure. What we did to the Monet family was very cruel. I think we stooped down to their level by destroying them like that.
If they had stayed on their lane, we would have stayed on ours. In other words, if they didn't mess with us, then we wouldn't have done that to them. The next time someone tries to mess with other people, they will hear of this story and shudder.
Yes. What if someone snitches and Interpol traces the whole incidents to us?
If we are connected to what happened at that church, then we will be ruined. However, I refuse to live in fear. Elena Bassett Monet got what she deserved. We avenged for our daughter and for everyone else who lost a loved one on that bridge. Maybe we were used to fulfill the prophecy that Nadege told Ethan about.
Yes, but why don't I have peace? I thought that once we avenged Ira's death, I would find peace again instead. I feel guilty and I don't know what made me go all out to destroy that family.
Try to forgive yourself and ask the Lord to forgive you. Perhaps we made a mistake. Maybe next time someone does bad things to our family, we will act more calmly and leave it all for God.
I don't know, Frank. We will try. All I know is that avenging for yourself leaves you feeling guilty instead of feeling good about yourself. We need to ask the Lord to help us to forgive, and we need to trust Him to avenge for us in His time and in His way.
Yes.
At the beginning of this series, we identified several characteristics of the original Jezebel. Our goal was to see if there are any ministries that we know of, have read about, have heard about, or that are documented that are led by men or women with Jezebel-like characteristics. In our opinion, Elena seemed to align perfectly with the original Jezebel. However, we stand to be corrected. If we could prove to ourselves that there was at least one church that had a pastor or pastor's wife whose personality, character or life closely resembled the original Jezebel, then that would prove the existence of that spirit, at least to us at CGN. We are aware of scholars who have denied the existence of the spirit. This series is not based on scientific research, and as we alluded to in an earlier video, we know the main parts of the story and we had to fill in the gaps in vague areas of the story to enable the series to flow logically as intended. Hence, although this story is inspired by a true story, it is not possible for it to be 100% like the storyline of any church in the past or present, because we used both secondary and primary sources of information, and we filled in the gaps. It follows therefore, that if our story closely resembles another real-life story past or present, then it's merely a coincidence. However, if the story of the ministry that you have in mind closely resembles the original Jezebel's story, then it is highly likely that the ministry has been polluted by the Jezebel spirit, and you need to ask the Lord to give you wisdom so that you don't fall prey to Jezebels and other evil spirits. We advise you to tread carefully at all times. We identified the following as the main characteristics of a Jezebel. See 1 Kings 16 to 2 Kings 9. 1. Jezebel worshipped other gods. She served Baal and opposed what God said. She was dining, as it were, with devils. 2. She slew the prophets of God. This can also mean that she destroyed their characters. Basically, she hated the prophets of God. She even had her own prophets who ate at her table. 3. Jezebel was vindictive and maintained power by threatening people. She was unforgiving and vengeful. 4. She was greedy and selfish. She plotted and even killed to get what she wanted. 5. She used the evil people around her to carry out her evil plans. She even used her husband's name and seal to deceive many. 6. She was possessed by the spirits of whoredom and witchcraft. And 7. She painted her face and used a disguise. She was wicked and manipulative. The list is not exhaustive. In our opinion, Elena Bassett Monet, the pastor's wife, ticked most, if not all, of the boxes. However, this is our opinion. Thank you for watching, and remember that we are not fighting humans but principalities and wickedness in high places. Therefore, hate the sin and love the sinner. Pray for your enemies, and pray that you don't fall into any of the traps set by the enemy. Remain blessed.
We have come to the end of this series. We hope you have been blessed by it. Thank you for watching this episode and all of our other videos. We are planning to take a break from producing movies, and by God's grace, we will return with a new series at God's appointed time. At the moment, we are still waiting for guidance regarding which film to produce next. We will keep you posted. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so that you get notified each time we upload a new video. Before we go, we would like to leave you with the following verses to ponder on. Matthew 23:27-28, and 33-34 says, Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets, and wise men, and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city. Deuteronomy 11:27-28 says, A blessing, if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods, which ye have not known. Deuteronomy 4:29-31 says, But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice. For the Lord thy God is a merciful God, he will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he sware unto them. Romans 12, 9, 11-12, 14, and 18-21 says, Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Bless them which persecute you, bless, and curse not. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink, for in so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And Luke 10:19-20 says, Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this rejoice not, that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice, because your names are written in heaven. Thank you for watching. Remain blessed.